Hey guys, how's it going? Tonight's game one of the World Series between the Dodgers and Red Sox. It is Chris Sale versus Clayton Kershaw has the matchup tonight. We are just about to get underway. Currently, I do not have any viewers watching, so I woke up a bit late. Not by accident, of course. So I'm just gonna start writing the players, and when it's about to be game time, I'll start announcing. So just stay tuned, you guys. Yeah, if you're watching this afterwards, just fast forward a couple minutes because I don't have any viewers right now. I'm just taking time to fill in names. We're just about to get started in a minute. Still trying to fill everything in. It's a lot, especially when there's 6 freaking umpires. It's crazy. So, all right, let's get started. So, Chris, to start the All-Star game in the World Series since Verlander in 2012. And as Dozier steps up to the plate, here's Chris Sale, first pitch. And there's a ball low, starting off the World Series. So, as I mentioned, it is Chris Sale versus Clayton Kershaw. And it's one of the most anticipated matchups, probably of the season and World Series. Probably the best match we could have. That ball's fouled back. Caught on a bounce by catcher Sandy Leon, 1-1. Is Kershaw and Sale are probably the best. They're definitely the best lefties in their own respective leagues. So they're amazing. Ball's fouled off Dozier's foot, 1-2. Dozier put in the leadoff hole because he has good success off Sale, as he was in the same division as Sale for a few years before Sale joined the Red Sox. He's also faced him because he's an American League player. Members off him, and that's why he gets the nod tonight. I think is completely righty, which is insane if you think about it. But it makes sense because Sale's just so dominant. I'm sure he kills lefties too. That ball's high and outside, 2-2. With that one, that miles per hour. Usually from Sale, you see how nice and up. He is getting back from a weird stomach illness where there's a called strike 3 in the inside corner. That one's at 94. Doesn't matter, 1 away. So Sale starting off this game strong. Red Sox faith is cheering for him, and a good start for the Red Sox as well. This game started at 8:11 in Boston, but it started at 3:11 here. We're probably like 2:45 today or so. Not even that, like 2:50. It's not too much time to prepare. There's a slider in the outside corner, 0-1 to Justin Turner. Turner earned the NLCS MVP. He shared the NLCS MVP award last year with Chris Taylor. There's a fastball that just missed inside, 1-1. But this year he also had a go-ahead blast. I believe it was in Game 2, where he propelled the Dodgers to a 5-4 victory over the Brewers. That ball was popped foul out of play, and it's now 1-2. So this postseason, the Dodgers struck out 117 times, 13 homers by 190, and runners in scoring position, while the Red Sox struck out 7 times, 9 homers and 370 runners in scoring position. So the Dodgers have more homers and more thump, but the Red Sox have better ways to manufacture runs. That ball is popped foul again, and count remains 1-2. So Turner having a good at bat so far. This will be his 5th pitch at the at bat. This is literally an all-righty lineup, which is, you don't see that like ever. Like you see like at least one lefty, like you're stagnant lefty. Even the Red Sox, they have at least a couple lefties. That ball's I believe a changeup outside. Yeah, it's changeup outside, 2-2. Yeah, actually the Red Sox have a couple lefties. Well, Leon's a switch hitter. And Devers and Bradley and Benintendi. So they actually have a couple lefties, yeah. And well, swung and missed, a slider, and there's 2 away. So Sale, even though he's on 9 days rest, so I'll tell you more about stomach virus. He has like a stomach ring that got infected and really started bothering his stomach, and he wasn't able to throw as hard and pitched in pain in the ALCS. but he's been on 9 days rest, and he said he's fine, and he looks very, very sharp tonight. Doesn't point at the complete velocity back, but there's a slider dumped in for a strike on one. Now we're starting to find his groove. He's throwing first pitch strikes, hitting all the corners and stuff. He looked sharp tonight, which is good. I mean, this is the matchup you wanted. The ball's just laid off. It's a slider, and it almost hit the dirt. 1-1. Freese is one of the greatest postseason performers in recent memory. His go-ahead single propelled the Dodgers to beat the Braves in Game 4. That slider swing and a missed, and it's now 1-2. Sale one pitch away from striking out the side. Freese also won NLCS MVP honors 2011. Then helped the Cardinals, come back from behind 3-2 against the Rangers in the World Series in 2011. That fastball misses inside. That one in 96. So his fastball is starting to increase a bit, which is good for Sale. Just tuning in. David Freese, the third hitter of the Dodgers lineup, is up at bat. First two outs came via the strikeout. Chris Sale is pitching for the Red Sox. Clayton Kershaw is pitching for the Dodgers. It's Game 1 of the World Series. And this is already the best matchup of this, one of the best matchups of the season. And also a line drive to right field, and Freese finds a way. He took a slide on the outside corner, just took it the other way, and hey, that's why he's so good in the postseason. He shortens everything up and just goes to all fields, and it's almost like he goes into a different mode during the postseason. And Smoltz is right. He is a professional hitter. He'll find a way to get on base. He bats he's like a 260 hitter during the season, bad. But during the postseason, he's shorting up his swing. He can go he goes for power, but he also tries to just hit anywhere. He's very clutch. He gets things started. He's a great player. Let's say his best self comes out. That ball's fouled off. 0-1. So Machado is an interesting story against Sale. So this recent controversy with he's very good in Fenway Park. 8 homers and 32 RBIs. Sale actually tried to nearly hit him on one pitch during the season, and then the next pitch, Machado hit a 466-foot homer, which is pretty crazy. That's a fastball that misses inside 1-1. So he's very good about being the villain or kind of taking charge, things like that. That ball was swung and a miss. Fouled back. Excuse me. And now it's 1-2. So one strike away, and Sale once again will strike out all 3 outs from each 3 outs via a strikeout. We get all 3 outs via the strikeout with one more K. So the reason why the Dodgers have been already lineup is because Sale is so nasty, and he has such a weird. He throws so far on the left side. It's a very high fastball, 2-2, and righties do definitely hit a good amount better. And the Red Sox kind of have definitely a bit worse against righties for some reason, hit by almost a significant amount. So put a bunch of righties, and even NLCS MVP Cody Bellinger is not in there, which is pretty funny when you think about it. It's benched first game. And ball was roped in the air, but right to Benintendi, and that's the 3rd out. So Sale pitches a scoreless first, but the Dodgers screen the runner, and we head to the bottom of the 1st game in the World Series. I'm put on some music for you guys. So we are back and pitching tonight for the Dodgers, as I mentioned, is Clayton Kershaw. Clayton Kershaw actually has 10 postseason victories, so a lot of people give him heat because he has lost some decisive games, but he's also been pretty clutch, and he's going to carry on the bullpen now for a third time after closing out in a non-state situation in the NLCS. So say what you will about Kershaw, but he still does a solid job. And he's still not Kershaw like in the playoffs per se. 10-8, and he has like under a 4. He barely slightly over a 4-year rank. So not very good. I mean, not very Kershaw, like who has like a clear ERA of like under 2.4. So yeah, he's ridiculous, but it's kind of like almost he has one good start, one bad start. And it'll be interesting to see. It's like first time around against the Red Sox, if it goes a bunch of games, if he like does well, and then in the second start round he does worse because the Red Sox get used to them to make the adjustment. Or maybe Kershaw's he's not really used to the Red Sox, so that's just hard if he does. Yeah, actually, has 11 wins in the postseason. There's a strike on the inside corner, 0-1, as he starts off against Betts, against probable MVP of the 2018 season. And here comes the 0-1. That ball's popped up. Who's going to get it? Freese is going to get it, and I think he overran it. Yeah, he had a very tough play to run a long way, and I think that ball just on a couple feet foul. Let's see, where will it go? Foul ball. He just kind of just keeps going, keeps trying to reach. Yeah, he overran it. So you can't really make that mistake against a probable MVP. I mean, granted, he had Clayton Kershaw on the mound, but that needs to be caught. Yeah, that was like on the left side of him after he ran and got that. And that ball is a very hard foul. Count remains 0-2. Although Betts only is about a 2.05 in the postseason, he is primed to break out, and he's gotten some good hits. And well, not so much. He only has like 3 RBIs. I don't even think he has a homer. Takes a curve in the dirt, as it's now 1-2. Let's see. Does he have a homer this postseason? He does not. He only has 3 RBI OPS. Speaking of Betts, so the Red Sox do have a problem to go to the Dodger Stadium because JD Martinez is going to play right. Oh, that's bad. Where is he going to play? Where would he play? There's a fastball missed inside, and the count's now 2-2. But he actually came up as a second baseman, so he's been taking some reps there. So, I mean, he's definitely going to be in this one way or another. You would imagine that he would take out Bradley in the lineup, but I think it looks like more likely that he's going to play second. And there's a single up the middle to center field, and you have to make them pay. If you get a second chance like that, where David Freese cannot catch the ball, you got to make them pay, and that's exactly what he did. So, yeah. And Betts would hit like 346 during the season. Like the announcers are saying, like he just is comfortable with 2 strikes, and that's what makes a great 300 hitter, a great hitter also, or a great hitter who has a good batting average, is that you can hit the ball with 2 strikes very well. Just got a runner on with Andrew Benintendi up, lefty on lefty matchup. Betts goes a second, and he will be safe. Ball goes to center field, but it's backed up by Kike Hernandez. So Betts wastes no time after the single, and he did not have the best championship series or division series, but he is getting things started right now for these Boston Red Sox. Yeah. It seemed like he was going to go first pitch. If Machado got the ball in the short hop, it would have been close. maybe would have gotten it, but he's safe, and yeah, now they have a runner in second. So great start for the Red Sox. And honestly, Benintendi is a good enough hitter, and the Red Sox are a good enough team to get these productive outs to have that score. And I think there's a single to right field, and that's going to be a run. And on the throw home from Puig, he's going to throw it straight through. That ball's too high, and they try throwing a second, but Benintendi advances a second on the throw. So, wow. So Benintendi comes in clutch. I was actually literally just going to mention that lefty and lefty does not phase him at all. And that's because he's just such a good hitter. He's like a 280 hitter, at least during the regular season. And yeah, he adds on to the pressure, and he adds a single to right field and takes second on the throw. And the high throw from Puig, he was trying to get the runner at home. He didn't really deke him that well. So, yeah. You also got to, as announcers say, you got to know who's at second base. And Puig playing so deeply, you're really going to get Mookie Betts. I know he's one of the best arms in baseball, but that's one of the fastest players. So, yeah, he's easily safe. Yeah, Kershaw he's grimacing. So, geez. Runner on second, no one out. Steve Pearce, who is one of the greatest platoon players in baseball right now, and he completely mashes lefties. And as I said about this Red Sox lineup, they are so good about the bag he may have for a split second. That'd be huge. His leg kind of, then you see his hand come up, and you wonder if the other hand's on the bag. So maybe they'll they're going to challenge him. I wish they were as wrote it in. Yeah, Dodgers are definitely challenge that play in a tied play. Yeah, basically, he slid in. Machado's leg was blocking the bag. Benintendi, he was running to second, got his hand on it, and took his hand. It looked like briefly for a second, but you don't know if he replaced it with the right hand or made contact the entire time. Machado did a good job of maintaining the tag. And he is safe. So the play is upheld, and Benintendi remains at second. I believe nowadays they have two challenges, whether or not they are successful or not. And yeah, because I think in that straight into get another one. Anyway, as I said, Pearce completely mashes lefties, and this Red Sox team is good enough to get some productive outs and score a runner from second. What do I mean by productive outs? I mean hit the ball the other way, hit the ball into the runner and go to third. So like hit it to second or hit it to first or hit it to not to right field. I think or deep right field. Then the runner will move over to third. Then on a sac fly or so, you can score a run. So it's just kind of putting bat to ball and kind of like trying to hit a spot or aim a certain place. And Pearce was trying to press that one, but it's popped up, and Freese makes the catch, and Benintendi will not go. He's in some trouble on these fly balls. He kind of regardless. And that's how he makes the play. Oh yeah, so I have this thing where when you steal a base in the world, you get there's free tacos in America for the next day, which is pretty cool concept, but it's kind of how many people actually do it or remember it or yeah. So if you go get tacos at Taco Bell from 2 to 6 p.m. Tomorrow in America, you get them for free. So, if you're in the area and you see a Taco Bell and it's between 2 to 6 tomorrow. Go get yourself one, and thank Mookie Betts for it. I believe who was the last? I think last year was Cameron Maybin, who he was on the Astros. So Kershaw's allowed first inning run allowed in the last 9 postseason starts. So he's usually been pretty dominant, but this Red Sox team is just relentless. And Kershaw closed out Game 7, and he was seen working. There's a corner to start off the at bat against JD Martinez. Martinez is incredibly dangerous, as he had 43 homers, batted .331, had 130 RBIs. I mean, this is his situation right here. He drives runs in. So he's looking to keep bringing the pain to Kershaw. Here's the 0-1. It's a slider, just a bit low, 1-1. And if he had some good fielding ability, then he would probably no doubt be the MVP. But because he doesn't field and he doesn't have amazing speed like Betts is kind of the favorite. But there's no doubt that JD Martinez is one of the most feared sluggers in the game, if not the most feared. That fastball's high. That's now 2-1. And he had over 1,000 OPS. And he was just utterly ridiculous. I mean, he's so clutch. He waits for the ball to get really deep into the count. He was originally on the Astros before he resurrected his career. He was DFA'd from the Astros, signed with Tigers. Hit pretty well with them. That trade's done that mid-season last year, then just went off, and then signed himself a 5-year, $125 million deal for the Red Sox, and it's worked out in every penny, if not more. And yeah, he's been a great acquisition for them. And that's a single into left field, and Taylor fields it, and that will be a run, and the Red Sox are up 2-0. So, as I mentioned, this JD Martinez, that's his situation. He had 130 RBIs during the regular season. That was another one tonight. It's like a normal day in the office. That ball was on the outside corner, but he just pulled it and found a hole, and hits the ball very hard. And Machado had no chance trying to field the ball. Actually, the ball almost hit Benintendi as he was running. So, yeah, we got a runner on first with 1 out as Xander Bogaerts comes up. He also is a great hitter for these Red Sox. The third player in the Red Sox went up to having 100 RBIs. I believe Betts did have 100 RBIs. Actually, no. I think he's only the second player this year. Yeah, Betts was injured, so only having 520 bats for a leadoff hitter, which is pretty small. I mean, he walks a good amount, but that's in large part due to missing some time. Who knows if he would have gotten 100 RBIs originally, but 80 is still not bad. Anyway, Bogaerts is the only second Red Sox. He's the only ever Red Sox player this year besides JD to have 100 RBIs. So he too is and he has a bunch of doubles as well. So he too can add on to this Red Sox lead. And it's a very early lead, and it's good. I mean, Dodgers went to 7 games, even though they had some rest. I mean, well, their bullpen should be fine, but they don't want to use up all their bullpen in Game 1. And these Red Sox, so far, they're maybe kind of forcing the Dodgers' hand, and it'll be interesting to see if you have someone warming up soon. That ball was low. It's now 3-0 count to Xander Bogaerts. So they are in the driver's seat right now, to say the least. There's a fastball on the inside corner, 3-1. Kershaw, who hardly walks anyone during the regular season, including having 1 year where I think he set the record for most strikeouts to walk, for best strikeout to walk ratio ever, with like 7 or 8 to 1, which is like 7 strikeouts a game and 1 walk a game, which is insane, if that. And he swings and misses a slider. That's kind of like a sales slider, it looked like there. So now it's a full count. Runners will be going, so a double would score JD. Martinez, even though he doesn't have too many steals or anything, he actually could run solid. Like he's not an awful runner. Ball in the gap, depending where it is, he could probably score. Actually, no, he won't go. It's a 1 out. My bad. Actually, he does run, and they picked him off. And Kershaw, they get him out. Kershaw throws the first, and throws to Machado. Freeze throws Machado, and he's out. So he definitely left too soon. Core's like, okay, let's move on. But Kershaw, who has one of the best moves in the game, and Kershaw's one of the best. Kershaw's one of the best pickup moves in the game, and Red Sox were aggressive. Not a bad idea to throw to first to begin with, and like I said, Martinez is with awful speed, so why not? Oh, but he needs to wait a little bit later, get that hit and run in motion. Now it's popped up, so this should be the 3rd out. Pop freeze. So the Red Sox are retired, but not before they score runs on RBI singles from Benintendi and JD Martinez as we head to the top of the 2nd inning. Stay tuned. Sorry, it was not Machado who caught the ball. It was Brian Dozier. So it was, play went 1-3-4. Let me change the song, or rather cue up the song for the next one. Using the some of the same commercials from last year, 2%. It's like a whole thing where everyone's wearing some hats and saying, "You think you're a better baseball than me? Prove it. Buy some merch online." Not a bad marketing strategy, but I wonder how many people actually sell this, which is interesting. This is cool playoff move. It's not like, hey, if you want to prove that you're a big baseball fan, go buy some gear. But yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting marketing strategy. I think it's just there's available kind of pressure to buy something, except for people who are saying, we know baseball, do you? This stuff's pretty expensive. Taylor takes a ball high. So now he takes a slider outside, and it's 1-1 count to Chris Taylor. A bit because my rib cage hurts pretty bad. I got hit by a ball last night. It was on like 50 miles per hour, so it still hurt. I can feel it still. Here's a slot. It's what classic Chris Sale slider, as it started middle and went in and just had no chance on it. It's like a frisbee slider, as they say. Sale pitches way off the first base rubber and throws it, and that motion is just insane. It just looks like it moves more than it actually does. Here's a slider and a jerk, perfectly blocked by Sandy Leon, who's a pretty good defensive catcher, and it is 2-2. So Sale has 3 pitches, a fastball, which currently is about 94 to 96. There's a slider that's like 88-2, and a changeup that's like 87 to 89. That ball's chopped to third. It will go foul, and count remains 2-2. Bit intrigued that Devers is playing tonight. I can understand Benintendi because lefties don't phase him, and Leon's a switch hitter, so you don't need to worry about him. Guiley's a great outfielder, so you don't need to worry about. He's always going to be defense first anyway. But why Devers? They have Nunez, but Nunez is a little bit hurt. Maybe that's what deals with it. There's a fastball inside, and Taylor's worked his way to a full count. These Dodgers are good at taking pitches, but they also can have a lot of swings and misses. So good chance for Taylor down base here. He runs well. There's the full count. Taylor swings and misses at a slider. That one's at, I think, 70. How fast was that one? That was in the 70s. But either way, there is one away. As 3 of the 4 outs Sale has had tonight has come via the strikeout. So he is looking sharp. There's a fastball inside, 1-0. That fastball's like 92, so maybe his speed is slowing down. Interesting. 78. Oh, that's fastball goes. Never slider at 78, now it's 101. His slider's more like 78 to 82. So, big difference for you. Actually, not too much, but when he's on point and beyond, that is a big difference. There's a slider in 2-1. Campbell's pretty tough. We took that slider like it was nothing. And he has smashed lefties historically in his career. So he is looking for first blood for the Dodgers. Swings and misses at a high fastball, 2-2. I mean, it still just looks like he's hitting spots outside corner, inside corner, changing eye levels. And he looks very sharp. Or can I go slider in the dirt right here? And nope, it's a fastball inside that. Kemp fouls back. Kemp remains 2-2. Interestingly enough, Kemp does have problems with lefty sliders, so probably we will be able to see that soon at some point again in this at bat. Already seen him. He looked rather comfortable. Just maybe it wasn't Sale's best one, but it was. He laid it off pretty well. Laid off that slider very well. That was a nasty one. It's now a full count. So even though Taylor was unsuccessful in the first at bat, he worked the count well. Sale's already at 34 pitches. Gets to the underbelly of his Red Sox bullpen. Same philosophy against the Yankees too. That ball's fouled off, so Kemp been really good at bat. That's his 7th pitch of his bat. This will be the 8th. Let's see, Taylor had a 7th pitch at bat as well. So, yeah, already having a great inning against Sale, whether or not they score or not. Actually, the bridge to Kimbrel has been a strength in the American League Championship Series for the Red Sox. And that ball is crushed into left field, and it'll have enough to get out. The Dodgers on the board, and Kemp, who has historically been on good against lefties, continues that success as the Dodgers trimmed the Red Sox lead by 1. So Kemp absolutely annihilated that, and it was just more a robber of like, does it have the height than the distance? But he gets it, and yep. So Dodgers strike back. And we do a little basketball hoop as he scores on a homer, and I believe that was a hanging slider. He looked, as I mentioned, he looked very comfortable against. No, it was a fastball. It's a high fastball, and Sale, who usually can throw like dangerous up in the zone for Sale, because there's a slider in for strike 1 on the inside corner, 0-1 to Kike Hernandez. But the high fastball, I mean, it plays well when you throw hard, but only at 94, it doesn't play as well, just because the hitter can get on top of that. They've seen 94 is better. That's a fastball inside. That one at 93. So if you're only throwing that hard, you gotta get higher than high, especially on 2 strikes. But nope, that was in the zone, and it's a high outside corner, and that ball was chopped to third. Devers throws to first, 2 away. Yeah, and the Smoltz, who's amazing. He's an announcer for tonight. He was saying how Dodgers have no chance to play about Muncy and Kemp's first half. They both kind of fell off a bit in the second half, and Kemp only started like 2 games out of the playoffs this so far for the Dodgers, but they want an all-ready lineup, which they got, and they also wanted to sort of good enough lefties, and hey, Dave Roberts trusts his player, and it panned out. Puig fouls it off, and it's not to him. It's actually pretty interesting because as much as Machado has been controversial in second, hitting Jesus Aguilar in the knee as he was running, there's a fastball high. That went away at 92. So Sale, he's gone up to 96 tonight, but 92 to 94. And you can see his fastball still not there. Still faster than last time, but not that great. His fastball, throwing a lot of sliders. Did he go? Yes, he did. Nasty slider in the dirt, which is starting the outside corner and died on the in the dirt on the inside. Like down in the dirt inside. So 1-2 count on Puig. Let's see if Sale can get out of this inning with just the 1 hit, that being a home run. That ball is 96. Tried to rear back on that one, but he missed high and outside, 2-2 to Yasiel Puig. Good take. Yeah. Seems like 96 is kind of the far back he can go. And he does not go on the slider this time. First base umpire Kerwin Danley says he does not go. Let's see. He would be held up. It was pretty borderline, honestly. Okay. But says they went around, but went off. Count remains at full. Still at 45 pitches, so Dodgers are doing a good job upping his pitch count. Although their strength of the championship series has been, one of their strengths at least to Kimbrel. It was thought of that their bridge to Kimbrel would be a big problem. And that's a high fastball that Puig takes for ball 4. So this inning will continue. And even if the Dodgers do not move Puig over, they at least have a top of order next inning, which is always good. So they're still in this game. I mean, sure, 1 run is big in the playoffs, but they're making Sale work, and it's not completely there. And if they get away with that slider, then he's essentially just 1-pitch pitcher. He's not really showing that changeup too much. So in 94, 95, it's more than capable of being hit. So, yeah, he looks a bit more human tonight than he usually does. mean, he has been hitting his corners, but since that homer, this inning's been a little bit low. He's had a bit of a tougher time putting guys away. I think his ball is not as fast. Anyway, there's a strike in the outside corner. 0-1's Austin Barnes. And let's see how Barnes has done in this postseason. Slider just missed outside. 1-1. Good take by Barnes. I guess if it's a slider only batting 1G5 in the playoffs with a homer, actually 7 RBIs and stolen base. That's interesting. I had 4 homers during the regular season, but he is a good defensive catcher. There's a slider in for a strike, 1-2. So Sale this will be Sale's 50th pitch already. So it'll be interesting to see how far he goes in this game. Dodgers did a really good job tonight, at least this inning rather, of making him work, making Sale work. So Dodgers are they can take a lot of balls. There's a great take. Jeez, how do you take that? It was a classic Sale slide in the dirt, unhittable, and he lays off it. So good job by Barnes. And I think they're starting to pick up that slider very well. They're saying, like, hey, if it starts like knee high, it's going to be in the dirt. Don't swing at it. And they're trying to make Sale a one-pitch pitcher. I think they're going to go with that slider again. But he swings and misses at a fastball inside. That one at 96. And Sale gets his 5th strikeout. But not before Kemp hits a solo shot. Turn the Red Sox lead to 1. He gets so long. And raising his pitch count up to 50. But we head to the bottom of the second inning. I'll put on some music in a second. Yeah, we're still in commercial, which is pretty crazy. Let's get it. So we're a little bit lag behind, so I'm going to refresh it. I think we are back in the game. Yep, we are. So Rafael Devers up. Started to strike on him. Whew. Nasty curve. That just misses. And Devers ways off. He probably couldn't even think he could hit it. And he thought if he could, he probably wouldn't be hit that well. So they would get taken by him 1-1. In Game 5 of the ALCS, he had a very clutch 3-run homer the opposite way. And yeah, he's very good. He has very good power. Was that a slider or a fastball? Kershaw, slider and fastball are pretty close in velocity, so sometimes a bit hard to tell. That one looks like it moved a bit. Here's 2-1. That ball's low, and that's 3-1 on Devers. Devers is not afraid to hit off lefties. I think in Game 5 got homers off the lefty, and he's hit a homer off Chapman, which is one of the most insane homers because it has 104 miles per hour. And this is a young rookie at the time. And takes a fastball inside for ball 4. So great at bat by Devers. Continues to keep this Red Sox offense rolling. First guy on once again. And have a professional hitter in Kinsler up. He's had 240 homers and steals in his career. Probably started out 220. Sorry, force of habit to eat when I'm a bit hungry, but I'm not going to do that during the podcast. I'm going to do that in between innings. There's a fastball inside, and Kinsler's 0-1. Kinsler not the player he used to be. I think he's about a 10-10 player this year, 14 homers. Let's see how many steals he had. But he was in his prime a 30-30 player and perennial 20-20 guy. But not anymore. That ball's ripped foul in 2. But he runs a bit, he steals a bit, and he plays good defense still. So he's still a solid player, but probably more as a backup with the recent surge of homers and all that stuff. So, but a nice addition to this Red Sox lineup after Pedroia got injured. Yeah, you have 14 homers, 16 steals. Actually, was right about the homer steal thing. 240 homers, 241 steals. Kershaw throws to first. Devers is easily back. He's not thinking of going. Martinez definitely has better speed than him, so it made sense why he would go, and Devers is unlikely to. Although Devers can steal a bat if he needs to. Yeah, well, let's see the last time Kinsler was a 2020 player. That ball's inside, 2-2. Actually, it hasn't been since his 30-30 campaign in 2011. He's actually a 2-time 30-30 campaign. Huh. Yeah, that was 2020 campaign 1 year as well. Wow, that's interesting. Huh. He was actually on the Rangers for 8 years. Didn't realize it was that long. The Tigers on 4, the Angels on 1, and the Red Sox for half a year. Sorry, he's on the Angels for half a year and the Red Sox for the other half of this year. That ball was fouled off, by the way, so count remains 1-2 count on Ian Kinsler. For a second, I forgot the player, and does. Kinsler, I've been talking about him for the last couple minutes. Swings and misses at a slider. Well, it's a bit like a sail slider, but less frisbee-like, if you know what I mean by that. As there's one away. Frisbee-like by, I mean, he starts off way on the first base side of the mound, and he kind of throws it a bit sidearm and just keeps going down, and it looks like a boomerang. It's almost you have to see it for yourself and kind of understand it. Pedroia is sitting in the dugout, really wishing he could play, as he was part of the last 2 Red Sox World Series runs in 2007 and 2013. Jones takes his slider for a high strike 0-1. Batted 177 during the regular season, so not that great. It's at 5 homers for someone who doesn't play altogether too much. It's a great curveball for straight two. Way to change Iowa from there. A slider at the top of the zone, curveball at the end of the zone, and yeah, that just moves so much. His curveball is almost like a Chris Sale slider if you think about it. Like it started like high and outside and dunked in for a strike, like a slow curve. But how similar is he? It moves a lot. But wow, Leon has his first hit of the postseason. That's like I'm actually pretty want to get off none other than Clayton Kershaw with a little poke to right field, gets himself a single and moves Devers to third. So runners in the corners with the ALCS MVP this year, Jackie Bradley Jr. And yeah, the Red Sox are a great team. You can see from their lower guys' production that they have good at bats and they fight off pitches, and that's exactly what Leon did. He just took it the other way. So good job by him. And the Red Sox are once again threatening Kershaw. And here's some MVP chances. Bradley won ALCS MVP, as I mentioned. And that ball's in the dirt, beautifully blocked by Barnes, kept in the front. You don't see that every day, especially if you're a Yankee fan and you're used to seeing Gary Sanchez. So really poor speed on first base, good speed at third. Okay speed at third, but not the best runners on base. So Kershaw looking for a double play. Bradley's fast, had 14 steals this season. And Bradley swings and misses at a high slider, 1-1. It was a hanger, but Bradley was trying to hit that one out. The count's now 1-1. This postseason is 185, 2 homers, and 9 RBIs. I think in the championship series, him and Bellinger both batted about 200. So they want to be as a postseason heroics and when their hits counted. There's a fastball on the outside corner that Bradley swings through 1-2. Kershaw would love to have the strikeout right now. Ideally, the double play would be better because that way you have to like bets, but you got to get him out before Best comes up. Even though he is kind of hard to hit a double play, but it's right at the runner, right at the fielder rather, you have a chance. Yeah, you had a pretty solid duo up the middle, Machado and Dozier. And that ball is up the middle. Machado takes himself, throws to first, and he takes a 6-6-3 double play. And Kershaw works out of this jam. And Machado, he threw that one very hard to first, barely out by a couple steps, and the ball was hit under Kershaw's legs. So way to let that ball go, and good job by Machado. It shows why he's one of the best defenders in the game. So Red Sox do not score, stranding 1 after the double play, and we head to the top of the third inning as they lead 2-1 against the Dodgers. I'll be right back. Hey, let me put on some music for you guys. My bad. Let me find going. All right. There's a strike to Brian Dozier on 1. It's a little chilly in here, so turned off the AC and I was trying to find it. There's a Dozier swings at a slider in the dirt, confirmed by first base umpire, as it's now 0-2. So Sale to a good start the sitting game, 2 quick strikes, hoping to limit his pitch count. It's at 52. And that ball is flied into left and right to Benintendi, as he's about maybe 15 feet away from the wall. Dozier obviously did not get all of it. That's just one of it. It's the first time the Dodgers have appeared in back-to-back World Series since 1977, 1978. The result of it being that they did not win either of them. The last time they did win was in '88 against the A's. So they really need this World Series victory, or this World Series, like the entire series. They need to win the whole series. That ball was inside 1-0 to Justin Turner, sporting his orange beard and has probably one of the most recognizable facial hairs in baseball. I think there's a changeup on the outside corner. It sounds at 85, and the sliders usually doesn't go that hard. Here's the 1-1. And Turner signals to right field. So he goes to the pitch, and he just goes with it. Turner's another guy who, when healthy, is one of the best guys in the game. I mean, he may not look like a threat, but he is. Like, he could be like a top 5 MVP finisher if healthy. Like, got like 320, like 25 homers, and so you're not doubles and a very, very good defender. So, fortunately, he was injured for a good part of the season, so he still did well in the time that he played, but he wasn't able to put up the numbers that he usually does, and that's because of it. But anyway, he continues his strong. It's a good postseason, or good postseason resume, but never hit. And Freese takes a fastball on the outside corner, 1-0. Freese has a solid eye. I mean, he's a solid, good all-around player besides speed. Hit a little bit, plays some good defense, hits to all fields. He becomes better in the postseason. His eye gets a little better. His bat gets a little better. He's good in the clutch. Takes a fastball inside. That's actually a tough pitch to lay off. So 2-0 to David Freese. Dodgers love to get some base runners. You love to get some good hits. I mean, you have Machado and get to him, and you're good. He's good off Sale. We've seen him before. I'm sure you'd love to never crack at him. There's a changeup outside, 3-0. That was his 60th pitch. So can't imagine him going like past 5 innings here. And they're hoping these 6 innings out of him probably have like Brian Brazier, Matt Barnes, then Craig Kimbrell or something of that sort. Maybe even Joe Kelly in there too. And there's a fastball in for a strike at 93. The outside corner, 3-1 to David Freese. Last time up, David Freese signaled to right. And a couple of these, both him and Turner both went to the other way to go against Sale. There's a slider dunked in for a strike, now a full count on David Freese. So would love to work back to beat Freese in this at bat as he's worked his way back in the count. Originally down 3-0. Thing is with Sale is he has 4 strikeouts. He's had a bunch of full pitch counts or a lot of pitches fouled off. And the runner goes, and there's a line drive to Benintendi. He gets it on a bounce, and Turner will stay at second. But Benintendi actually could have went for that, but he realized he couldn't get there in time, or didn't want to risk it since there's a runner going, and he took a tough hop, like a tough one-hopper. Almost hit him in the face, but he blocked his glove in time and caught it. So, caught in the bounce, of course. So, first and second with Machado, who has good numbers off Sale. and good numbers in Fenway Park, having 8 homers and 50 at-bats career-wise, including the postseason. So, well, this is only postseason appearance in Fenway. So, he has, I'm just going to say the 50th at-bat is included in there, which it is. If you include postseason at-bats, he does have 50. Has 50 plate appearances at Fenway Park. Against Sale, he's about 300 with 2 doubles and a homer, and this includes his postseason, of course. So he's a solid player. He's good power, good, decent speed, and yeah, he's looking to drive the ball. And it was a good rip, but just got a bit jammed by that fastball as he fouled it back 1-1. And the reason why the Dodgers even have Machado in the first place, as mentioned by Buck, which is true, is they have their all-star shortstop Corey Seager. He got injured early in the season, and he's out for a year. I don't know if it was Tommy John or something, but there's a base hit to the left field, and Turner will score, and this game is tied 2-2. Wow. So, hey, like I said, the Dodgers got base runners and kind of using almost a Red Sox approach, not even using the long ball, and getting some runners on and a couple singles, and yeah. And, the announcer said, like, and I know this is a fact, but though, well, I was pretty sure of it, but the Red Sox left field is the shortest left field in baseball, and because of the Green Monster, he put even more in, but he has Machado's power, and he's still far back, and he had no chance at that. So Turner scored easily without a throw, and Dodgers still threatening first and second with 1 out. Kershaw came like huge last swing with the double play, and Taylor swings and misses a slider on 1. And what I've noticed tonight with Sale's increased fastball and the Dodgers hitting his slider well, essentially made Sale almost a one-pitch pitcher at times. And sure, the slider will get you, but if you have maybe 2 or 3 chances against him, leave it off a couple of times, and then there might be a hanger involved. So he's been hittable tonight. And that ball was fouled off 0-2. And as I mentioned, Dr. Taking Red Sox approach going station to station, manufacturing runs not via the home run, having long at bats, and Sale's at 68 pitches already, so they're doing a very good job of that. They're still threatening this inning, and yeah, as I said, you wonder if Kershaw, who got out of the jam, first and third, 1 out, huge double play. The Dodgers were like, "Hey, Kershaw got out of that jam for us. Let's help him out. Let's capitalize on what he gave us." And that's like a good, like, a pitcher throws a scoreless frame, and your guys score some runs afterwards, win that inning, as they say, being like you scored more runs than the other team that inning. It's always a good thing. That's always a good way to come back, and it's like a good mentality to have as well. Here's a high fastball, 1-2. You can almost see Sale like when he's on point, like when he's usually his usual self. He'll almost finish a guy off in like 4 pitches all the time. Enough on some weak contact or on a strikeout. Don't really see it go too more than that. There's another high fastball that just missed. It's now 2-2. But it seems like every bat is like a 5-pitch at bat. And Taylor also is used to the leadoff role, so he's a very good eye. And yeah. Taylor last time up struck out swinging, so looking for a similar result. And he gets it, but called strike 3, and it's 2 away. Kind of prepared myself for that one since I was able to see in my other app I asked, and I wasn't trying to look at it, that Chris Taylor struck out, so I was preparing my call. So Sale has that's his 5th strikeout of the night and 2 2/3 innings. So the strikeouts are there. It just takes him a bit longer tonight because the Dodgers are a solid team. And this is his 21st pitch inning. I wonder if he's even going to go 5 innings. This rate is really not. And I'm sure Sale will want to get out of this, have a quick inning next one, and pitch in the 5th. That ball is chopped back to Sale, picks up, throws to first, and there's the 3rd out. So Dodgers strand 2, but not before Machado gets an RBI single on the board, continuing his good career numbers off Sale and Fenway. So we have a 2-2 game as this pitching matchup is not turning out to be so much a pitching matchup. So we get to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Put out some music for you guys. I put on another song for you guys. I like you guys so much, and I also don't want to break Stillin. I like the idea that I put on songs. There's a ball low to Mookie Betts, the leadoff hitter. 1-0 count as Red Sox hoping to get that run back, as they say, retake the lead. There's a strike on the outside corner. I believe that was a slider. 1-1 to Mookie Betts. The commercial they had right before was interesting. So like they always have like a postseason song of the year. In 2016, the song was by Sia. There's a one to Mookie Betts. It was a very good eye. I believe the 2016 song was Unstoppable by Sia. And I think I just mentioned that. My bad. Sometimes I forget what I say, and it's also sleep, but all good. Slider in a dirt 3-1 count. Betts would love to get on again and run wild on the base path. So Kershaw needs to attack him here. You can't attack him too hard because Betts can also put one out. So that's what makes Betts such a good player. There's a slider in the outside corner. That's a full count to Mookie Betts. last time up, that signaled to center, stole second, scored the first run of this game, and gave America free tacos. And swings and misses out a slider in the dirt, and there's one away. So good bounce back from Kershaw, who was down 3-1 in that count. And it's always good to get the first out, especially of the MVP, who could run very well. Now you could get a lefty-on-lefty matchup before you have Steve Pearce, who's also a good lefty hitter. So not an easy out for Kershaw anywhere in this lineup. Oh, until you really get to like Kinsler. And Devers maybe a bit. But first 5 guys, yeah, let's get to them out. There's a ball outside, 1-0 to Andrew Benintendi. But anyway, I was saying about the songs. Briefly forgot about that for a second. They have this song this year. This is by Quavo, saying like "Ready" or something. And there's a fly ball that dunks into left field. Benintendi didn't get all of that, and he has his second hit of the game. Took a big turn, but left fielder Taylor will get the grab. And actually, it was interesting because it went past him because it had like a weird side spin, but Benintendi just knocked out to second. And now have a signal to both of the corners of the outfield. Kershaw throws to first just to check on him. Benintendi's easily back. And it'll be interesting to see if they let Benintendi run. He does have good speed. I think he has 16 homers and like 21 stolen bases or something. Let's see. Yes, that's exactly right. Throws it over again. He is easily safe. Kershaw, who can pick on very well, is just throwing over for the sake of throwing over, keep the runner a bit close. And if you are wondering, it actually does move them over, but if you throw enough times, they will start to creep back a bit more. It's a psychological thing. That ball's fouled off, 0-1. Pearce does not have great speed, so another ground ball, and likely picked up by a fielder in the infield. The likely result in another double play, which the Dodgers would love right now. Kershaw's pitch outs is pretty good at 46 pitches. Yeah, this inning without 50. I'm sure he would love that. There's a slider in the dirt, 1-1. Last time up, Pearce popped up to Freeze, who still had a bit of trouble catching that fly ball as he backpedaled to make the grab. And then in the first inning, could have caught an easy pop, well, not an easy pop-up, but he overran it and then dunked in, and that's paid with a single, a stolen base, and then scoring on Benintendi's RBI hit. So, yeah, not the best opening for the Dodgers, but looking a bit better. Ooh, Kershaw almost throws that ball in the pickoff, but good snag by Freeze, making out for that. It wasn't error, making out for that miscue in the outfield. Count remains 1-1, of course. Kershaw does this. He usually does before he pitches. There's a ground ball to Machado. Throws the second onto first. They get him, and wow! Wonder if they'll challenge it. That was an insane double play. Wow! Because Machado was ranging to his right, and then one threw it to second. It was kind of like, one of those jump throws Jeter has to second. It was like that. And Dozier they slid in. It wasn't a dirty slide, but it was a late slide. Or I don't think it was a dirty slide. I think it was more like his body was just in front of him. So Dozier with his, he was bent. Let's see. He looked safe. Yeah, he does look safe. So Pearce actually ran pretty well on that, but it was a very tough play. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if you could, if they'll challenge to play at second as well. It was right on the base. But yeah, his head came up, and it was really tough for Dozier, who nearly got the runner. Still made a very good throw. That was scooped up by David Freese. So it'll be interesting to see if Red Sox are challenging both calls. But yeah, I mean, he was definitely safe at first, just on the play itself. So I would think this would be overturned. And Machado, who has such a strong arm and can play shortstop or third and get the balls deep in the hole. So they'd reverse it. So Pierce is safe at first. And he went and he grounds a 6-4 force out. There's a curveball that misses outside, 1-0. Dodgers nearly turned double play, and it was very hard double play as Machado had to range to his right and make a great throw, and Dozier had a runner basically in front of him, in front of his face, that nearly got out. So good job by the Dodgers, but just couldn't get it. Good running by P2. There's a slider. It's bottom of the zone, 1-1. Kershaw really relying on that slider as he's lost some velo on the fastball. Really being like 91 to 93 now. Maybe 94 if he wants to rear one back, but not the pitcher he used to be, and he changed the approach rather more seamlessly. Still in a very good year this year. Curveball just misses high, 2-1. Curveball's not as effective tonight, not playing as huge of a role. He's kind of relied on that slider more, throwing a bit more fastballs as well. I think that's because his curveball just isn't there tonight. He's hung 2 tonight. There were 2 in the last batter, but just outside. Just got to write down this play that happened. Yeah, I'm still paying attention. Here's a 2-1. There's a fastball inside, 2-2. So Kershaw 1 strike away from throwing his second consecutive scoreless inning after disastrous first inning. It all started with David Freese missing that fly ball. Here's a 2-2. And that's a fly ball to center field. And it's going to be off the wall. And that's going to score a run. And Pierce is going to score. And Martinez has himself an RBI double. Trying to go to third, but runs back to second on a back pick. And he is safe. And yeah, that challenge proves very large. Or looms very large, I should say. Because it would have been inning double play because the runner is on. Martinez continues his amazing hitting as he just never did the office. I mean, he had 130 RBIs in the season, adds a couple more in the World Series, and yeah, great hit that nearly went out. It was on the bottom of the fence, and actually would have gone to third, but he slipped. He got sniped, as he say, because the sniper shoots from far range, you fall, and yeah, he slipped and fell, but then ran back to second to make it back in time. But Red Sox retake the lead, they get the run back, and they're up 3-2. We're gonna see if he's okay. It was a bit of a crazy fall. It wasn't like head first or anything, but he kind of like ran back. He's running on the field, and he looks all right. Okay, so his foot slid off the top bag, and that's why he slid afterwards. So it's not like he just ran bad or anything. It was more because of the wet bases, which makes sense. It was 50 and drizzling currently in Boston. Very different from how it is here. There's about 90 the upper day. There, it's a very hot week. And very different from LA, which is also like mid-80s. And Martinez probably would have had himself a triple if he did not slip. Although Kiki Hernandez gets the ball quickly, played the ricochet well and threw it in right away, which is a good defense by an outfielder. That's what that field does do. Pick up the ball, throw it as quick as you can. Get the ball back to the infield. Good job there. They intentionally walked in their Bogarts to pitch to Rafael Devers, who His speed is worse than Bogart's, and they would love to force it and lefty on lefty. So, for all those reasons, they walk Bogarts. That ball's fouled off 0-2. So 1 pitch away limits the Red Sox damage to 1. And this hasn't really been as dominant a start as we thought. And you almost hope for another rematch between these two aces in a game 5 or so, or maybe even game 4. Probably game 5, I would think. But yeah, I mean, these teams are just grinders, and they've worked both pitchers well. And Dever swings and misses to complete the out as the catcher throws to first. So the Red Sox get 1 on a Gene Martinez double. After successful challenge, this confirmed Pierce was safe at first. So the Red Sox 4-1. Let's retake the lead 3-2, and we head to the top of the 4th inning. And I'll put on some music for you guys. All right, so as the song ends, we head to the top of the 4th inning. Red Sox retake the lead. Let's see how many pitches Sale is at. Can I keep the nuts on for next inning? There's I think a changeup in for strike 1. Haven't seen that pitch too often tonight. Kike Hernandez is up at the plate. There's a fastball layout, so that's his slowest fastball of the night at 91. 74 pitches now. So, yeah. As the announcer said, Dodger's been working him well. That ball's fouled off. Now 1-2. That was pitch with a slider. Sale does have a good amount of strikeouts, but he has been worked on. And I think that we'll try to push him to 5. He has 9 days rest. But it is the postseason, so depending on how this inning goes, will determine if he pitches the next, as he has not been great tonight. Swings and misses. Great block by Leon. Throws to first, and they, as they usually call for, inside the bag, which they do. And yep, so first away, one away. Like, here's the, if you go to the base, right? Like, here's like a base here. Again, let's say this, right? So my hand is here, right? This is called the inside part of the bag. So because the runner is running like kind of middle outside part of the bag, they want to throw it inside, and that's catcher does. He lines them up. The first base goes to the inside part of the bag, kind of shuffles his feet over. He throws the inside part of the bag and get the out. There's a slider on the outside corner, but just missed 1-0. Looks like I was going to say strike, but it was a ball. Yasiel Puig is up, and last time up, he worked a walk. There's a changeup on the outside corner. Sale using a bit more changeups this inning. And that ball was fouled off 1-2. Note, neither pitcher has pitched a 1-2-3 inning so far. And yeah, not even really close. So Sale trying to do just that, trying to get this 1-2-3 inning. Here comes the pitch, and it's fouled back. Count remains 1-2. So let's talk about these pitchers' seasons. So during the first half, Sale was definitely the best. Was arguably the best pitcher in baseball. Held a 2.05 ERA, like 121 innings pitched. Actually, they're showing it. They're at time at this right now too. He threw 129 innings, 2.23 ERA, 20 starts, 40 All-Star break. That ball just missed inside. That fastball clocked in at 92. It's now 2-2 Cameron Puig, who's taking some close pitches tonight. It was a ball, but nice frame by Leon to try to get it. Fouls that one off. Puig having a never great at bat against Sale. We're really seeing him well. Just if he had a game-tying homer here. He's really been seeing Sale very well. But it's been great for the Red Sox, and he had a great excellent first half, but due to injuries, he did not pitch too much after that. He's been more inconsistent and did go around, and this time he does on the slider. And first two outs innings have been strikeouts, and that was Sale's, let's see, 2, 4, 5, 7 strikeout and 3 2/3 innings. So sure, he's thrown 83 pitches, but still being effective. Just the Dodgers just been working him pretty well. And yeah, we definitely wanted that one. Actually, last time he was up, it was a bit controversial because it really looked like he went, but he didn't, as set by the umpire at first, Kerwin Danley. So this time he does say that he went around. Barnes say changeup outside 1-0. A lot of first pitch balls for Sale, which shows why he hasn't been as dominant. There's a changeup outside 2-0. You can't really start off a count 2-0 to number 9 hitter. You just got to right at them because they are, in theory, the worst hitter in the lineup, which is definitely true about Barnes. Here's a 2-0. And he's going to dunk in. And they have a late jump from Bradley, but he recovers to make the catch as Barnes lines out to him. So Sale has the first 1-2-3 in the game with a couple of strikeouts, and we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Put on some more music for you guys. I like the song, it's catchy. And we are back as Ian Kinsler's up at the plate. Okay, so struck in the inside corner. I believe that was a slider, and it's 0-1 to him. He struck out last time up. Swinging out, I was trying to look for that. There's a slider, there's a fastball on dirt, my bad. The first pitch is a fastball as well, so 1-1 count. Again, a bit tough to tell because the similar velocity, but regardless, it is 1-1. That one's a slider that swings and misses, 1-2. Have a little bit of help from the app to just make sure. I try not to look ahead, so I don't want to know either. And I like the surprise. Jack White and Houston and Fenway. Here's the 1-2. Okay, so ball in the dirt. That one's a slider, 2-2. Actually, it's interesting because Jack White, I believe he's a comedian. He said that, well, would you go to a World Series for your daughter's quinceañera or pay for your rent? And hopefully he wasn't joking. He's just joking about that. But he gave his take on that, and you wonder if he actually chose the World Series. He probably did if baseball showed he's at the game. And it'll be interesting if that actually is true or not. But that just shows you how big of a fan he is, and he's at game one and all that stuff. So not too familiar with him. I feel like I've seen him before, but didn't really know the name. Here's a 2-2 to Kinsler. Swings and misses on a good curveball. Probably Kershaw's best curveball of the night. And that's his fourth strikeout of the night. Kershaw hoping to match 7-2 for the inning as well. He has the right guys to do it. This is Kinsler, the seventh batter. He owns the eighth, and Bradley's ninth. So last three guys in the order. Kershaw's 62 pitches, which isn't too bad. Should be able to go about 6 innings this time or so. That ball's fouled off. Good cut by Leon. There's a switch hitter. He's batting from the right side since Kershaw's a lefty. And well, the World Series batting 1,000, not the little his slow hit to right field last time at the plate. He's about 200 in the postseason, which is still more than his batting average during regular season. There's a slider in for strike 2. And Kershaw looking a lot better to this inning. And as Leon's quickly in an 0-2 hole. And he takes strike 3. Another slider. And there's 2 away. So similar to Chris Sale. And Kershaw, they're talking about his mechanics right now. Which is interesting, also talk about Kershaw's season when they have the chance. Whether it be this inning or if they finish too quick, I'll talk about next inning. But Kershaw has a very unique motion. Kind of like starts up with his leg, he starts his windup, and once he gets to bring his leg up, he kind of puts it down, not quite to the ground, and then holds it for a second and then goes. He's kind of throw off the hitter, and it works for him and gives more reception. He had the ball longer. There's a nice curveball in for a strike too. Kershaw looking very sharp this inning. Pete Kershaw just throwing all strikes and hoping to strike out the side right here. There's a slider that missed away, 1-2. So let's see Kershaw's season. Still had a good season. And that ball was ground to fair to Freeze, chasing himself, but quickly on Kershaw's season so this year, 9-5, 2.73 ERA, 161 innings, pitch 155, strikeouts 1.04 WHIP. Very good numbers, but not Kershaw-like numbers, as usually has more strikeouts than innings pitched. WHIP under 1 and the ERA sub 2.4. And he gets a lot more wins, but still not an awful season. Anyway, Kershaw gets a 1-2-3 inning and matches Sale's performance, and we head to the top of the 5th inning. There's a slider in for strike 1 as we are in the top of the 5th and back at the top of the order of the Dodgers lineup. And so this is the 3rd time through the order, and Sale is currently at 87 pitches. Now 88 with the slider. Sorry, I believe changeup in the dirt. Yep, it was a changeup. So 101. So Matt Barnes warming up the pen. If he gets in any trouble, he might come in, or depending on how bad the situation is. That changeup just missed low. 2-1. Sale using that changeup more. Now probably recognizing that they're really seeing his slider well, and yeah, since he's incorporated that changeup, he has been better. Having a 1-2-3 inning last inning. Here's a fastball high and outside for a ball. 3-1 count to Brian Dozier, who was struck out looking and flew out to left. And Dozier does have good numbers off Sale, so looking to drive one right here in a hitter's count. Takes one inside and walk. So Dozier has good speed, starts off this inning well. Sale now at 91 pitches, and you got to think to yourself, Barnes is going to start warming up at a pretty good rate. I'm sure if another runner gets on, then they might relieve Sale. Sale would like to get through 5 innings, and I'm sure the Red Sox want to do that too. And actually good, they might take him now. It's Cora Wallace to the mound. Yeah, that ball just missed inside. Actually did catch the plate. So Sale's out of the game. And he goes 4 innings, and I'll give you his line in a second. Matt Barnes will enter the game, and we'll be back. I'll put on some more music. All right, let me put on one of my favorite ones. What's it called? Let's figure out one of my favorite ones. All right, we are back, and Matt Barnes will come in to face Justin Turner, and of course the Red Sox will put it righty up because this is an all righty lineup. So Turner hits righty as well though, so he should have no problem. But Barnes has been excellent in the postseason, so this will be a good matchup as Turner's one of the better hitters in the Dodgers lineup. There's a off-speed pitch low, and 1-0 count to Turner. So I'll give you Sale's line. He went 4+ innings with 5 hits, 2 walks, 7 Ks. So yeah, not great of course, but he only allowed 2 runs in a short period of time, and so far, but not that. And that's grounded to left field, and Dozier will stop at second due to how close Benintendi plays because of the park. So first and second, Sale's 2 runs might turn into 3. As Dodgers are in business here, and here's clutch hitter David Freese helping for a third and hoping to keep contributing to this evening's game. I'm sure Kershaw will love this sport. And now that Sale's out of the game, you got to attack all these guys before Kimbrel. And even Kimbrel himself, the story on Kimbrel recently is he's been tipping his pitches. And basically that means because of his motion or because of what he does when he pitches, hitters will be able to tell what pitch he throws. And you can ever have that advantage is very useful. And he only got 7.71 ERA in his outings in the championship series. He had a good outing the last time up, but he's definitely an X factor in the series. And guys before them who they didn't pitch well in the ALCS, I give them credit, but they are quality arms. But during the regular season, they're not that good. Perhaps even overworked a bit. Their guys include Matt Barnes, Brandon Workman, Ryan Brazier, Joe Kelly, Heath Hembry. Those guys, it's kind of their relief corps. There's a fastball in the outside corner on 1. Matt Barnes already hitting Sale's highs tonight at 96. Sale is averaging through from 91 to 96 tonight, hitting 96 a couple of times, maybe only a couple of times most of the time. So 92 to 94. And here's the 0-1 count to Freese. And he lines the 1 foul. For a second, I thought it was a single or even double down the line. Would have been the loose there. So Freese now has to be off of 2. Yeah, Freese doesn't have great speed, and that's has all of these outfielders have great arms. So really, the only way you can move a runner over is either by a bunt or like a very short ground ball, or like a soft ground ball, and that the only play is at first, or getting a hit, or like getting on base. So with someone speedier up than a ground ball would be first and third, you still move the runner over, but that's not the case with him. I feel like Barnes has like the same facial hair as David Price, like to a T. It's pretty funny. Like I thought he was Price for a second. Here's the 0-2. Fouled back by Freese. I was at 97 on a high fastball, so Freese contact there to stay alive. And the Dodgers actually had a big problem with runners in scoring position in the championship series. Both the Dodgers and the Brewers did not do too well in those situations. They did better in like the last couple of games, but yeah, that's a problem for them. And his Red Sox level was very good running scoring position. And he straights out Freese, and he swings at a curveball in the dirt, and there's one away. Freese unable to pick up his 3rd hit of the night. So, yeah, great pitch by Barnes and great block by Leon to keep the ball in front. Triple just straight. It was probably an Uncle Charlie. That meaning that starts him that probably started like middle of the plate and then just died down. So kind of like semicircle. Like that. So anyway, there's one away, and Machado's up, who got the 2nd RBI of this game, and RBI single to left, looking to tie up this game. Good cut right there. He was looking to go deep as it was a hanging curveball, but fouls that one back. Kind of twisted his body too much. Machado does have speed, so if he hits a ground ball, might be able to beat out first. Machado's bit has been known actually for some of his dirty antics. He once, as Barnes once threw behind the head of Machado, and then, oh, that ball gets away, and runners will advance. That's huge, as now the double play is ruined. A single scores 2, and with productive out, they can run and tie up this game. Pitch. And yeah, so Dodgers in a great position to score. That ball, Leon didn't kind of block it over the plate. Like, he got in front of it, which is good, but hit off his chest protector once hit the right. Usually when you block, you kind of want to angle it back to the field, but he did not do it there. And Machado swings at a high fastball, 1-2. Yeah, Machado really needs to step it up here. Not that Chris Taylor can't. I'm sure Taylor's happy that Sale's out of the game as he has a couple of strikeouts. But, you know, Machado has the ability to get a run across with a productive out. So fire him, look for something low, look for something you could hit in the air. And yes, you have a great outfield, but if you draw it deep enough, you get a run in. And Dozier's decent speed, so why not? But I'm sure he would like to hit a hard ground ball that could probably be the better trick. Here comes the 1-2. And he hits it up the middle, and the ball is hit too hard and nearly took off Barnes' head as Machado gets a second RBI out of the night. They get the out at first, and this game is all tied up 3-3. So Sale's line is completely done. I'll say it once again in a second. And that was actually a bit of a hanging curveball, so he just hits it up the middle and right at the second baseman, Ian Kinsler, who throws it to first. So good piece of hitting there. Yeah, that ball maybe missed Barnes' head by like a couple inches, which is pretty bizarre. And pitch hitter Cody Bellinger's up at the plate. The NLCS MVP, who's had better swings as of late and made sense why he's in the game now. He can stem the Dodger. He can put the Dodgers in front. Good power as well. So, I mean, although Taylor is a great hitter, so bit of an interesting decision. Because Taylor has good speed, so he can be an infield hit, but so does Bellinger, so makes sense. Now that Sale's out of the game, also makes sense why they'd have him in. Yeah, he went for a 5 for 25 in the NLCS with a walk-off single and a Game 7 go-ahead homer and a great dive and grab. Bradley went 3 for 15 with 3 for 6, 2 homers, 9 RBIs. So both of them not that too high. Have a batting average that was too high. Curveball for a strike on one to Bellinger. But they came up huge, and that's why they both won out of the championship series. So Bellinger hoping to drive in Turner and have the first Dodger lead of the game. There's a high fastball that messed up, 1-1. So, I mean, if Machado's a great World Series performance, and so far he looks like current MVP of it for the Dodgers, then I'm sure that would help him in free agency as he's looking for probably about a 10-year, $350 million deal or so. And he's more than capable of receiving that. There's a fastball inside, 2-2. Sure, this recent controversy with the dirty plays and all that stuff, how he doesn't hustle. Yeah, of course that's annoying, but it doesn't really take too much stock, especially when you're as high of a player as he is. And maybe I'll show this out later, but I do wonder if that will affect how much money he makes. It certainly doesn't help, but he still should be able to get that high amount. Bellinger pops it up, and that's his under it. There's a third out, and the Dodgers to retire, but not before Machado gets an RBI ground out, and they strand a runner at third. As this game's all tied up 3-3 as we get to the bottom of the 5th inning. want some music for you guys. Here's a slider in for strike one as we start the bottom of the fifth inning with bets up at the plate. Both the Dodgers and the Red Sox started their leadoff hitters in this inning. Here's a curveball in the dirt. Not too much bite to Kershaw's curveball tonight, or not throwing it for strikes as he usually is. He's a bit off tonight, but he was in line to throw 6 innings, or a quality start, which means 6 innings with 3 runs or less. So should be in line for that. Albeit if he doesn't give any more runs, and Red Sox don't work his position on crazy amount. So Kike Hernandez is now in left field, and Cody Bellinger's in center after he replaced Chris Taylor. Here's a 2-1 count. There's a slider in the dirt, 3-1. You would, like I said, you want to get bets out because he's very dangerous on the base paths. He'll take extra bases on you and you'd steal as well. Just one of the reasons why he was so dangerous during the regular season. And Betts fouls it off, full count. Yeah, Betts doesn't really swing and miss against the left-handers too much, which is really interesting because, I mean, for someone who has as much power as Betts, he does not strike out too much, and that's part of the reason why he's such a high average as well. That ball is ground to the third, and Turner would have been an amazing play, but that ball was fouled off. Turner took a couple steps to his left and then made a jump throw, and he would have easily actually had Betts, which is interesting. These bets hit that ball pretty hard. Count still remains at full. And it was, but it looked fair at first. It was originally in fair territory, but it looked foul. That's foul's another one off, and this will be the 7th pitch of the at bat. Kershaw is going to throw a 77th pitch. And he fouls that one off again. So great battle from 2 MVP winners. I'm going to say that Betts is going to win the MVP. So roll with that. And yeah, I mean, one of the best pitchers of the generation. It's one of the best hitters now. Ryan Matthews starting to warm up in the bullpen. He will come in during sign of trouble. And there's a curveball missed low, and Betts does not swing at it. Not a bad curveball, but that's just too good. So there is a runner on first. And although Kershaw can hold runners very well, he's the last 2 hits to Benintendi. And it'll be interesting to see if he just faces Benintendi and then gets out of the game as the hook. Be interesting to see what happens. Pierce has not done very well against Martinez. He has against Kershaw. I mean, Martinez crushes lefties, and I think coming for him. And Kershaw steps off and tries to pick out Betts at first, but he's safe. Although a little bit surprised by the move. Lefties can be on the rubber and then step off and throw it first in the same motion. Righties can do it too, but you can do like kind of like a quick move and try to get the guy out. Betts has a good sized lead, but he does not go right now. And there's the 3rd hit for Benintendi, and wow, great play by Kike Hernandez. He gets the ball on quick, stops Betts from going to 3rd, and we have 1st and 2nd with no one out. And this could be it for Kershaw. Yeah. I mean, Kike Hernandez gets the ball 1 bounce and then comes up firing. And Roberts comes out of dugout. He looks like he's going to be taking out a game. And the very hyped post matchup between Kershaw and Sale will end with them both coming out after 4+ innings. So not the best start. And yeah, Kershaw's out of the game. So as much as you want to say Kershaw is a great pitcher, of course, but postseason-wise, I mean, yes, he does have 11 wins in the postseason. That's, of course, amazing. He still has it's pretty high ERA. I mean, he definitely has it over 4, and he's not Kershaw. Like, it's, of course, not bad, but especially in the postseason with that high of ERA, still has taken the loss 8 times, and now putting the Dodgers in a good position here. I mean, yeah, he's definitely not the best postseason pitcher ever, but he's okay. He's okay to good at best. Like, he has a good start, bad start, good start, bad start. It almost switches off like every time, it seems like. So Ryan Matthews will come in relief of Kershaw. And I'll put on some music. Ooh, and that ball gets away. So now we have runners in second and third. We have no one out. Jeez. That is not good. Almost same thing that happened to Leon. I mean, both of them wild pitches. So, wow. Massey comes in, and yeah, that's not good. Kershaw does not look too happy right now. Yeah, that changeup was spiked in the dirt, and what Barnes did wrong there is that I came up with the ball rather than just sit down into it. Although Elbita was a high pitch. There's a fastball low, 2-0. And you got to get Pierce out, because if you get Pierce out, then you can intentionally walk Martinez and then have try to have guards ground to double play. And you also don't want to face Martinez as well. But depending on the situation, that might happen. That ball's low. If you walk Pierce, then you have to face Martinez, and he's already had a couple RBIs this game, so that's not look like the best idea. And the Red Sox faithfuls on their feet. Kershaw does not look happy at all. He looks pretty sad right now, which is tough to see. Here's a 3-0. That ball's in the dirt, ball 4. So I guess the pitch doesn't matter too much as Madsen comes in throwing wild. So it's 3-3, no one on for JD. There's a strike in the outside corner. This is his time. I mean, this guy already has 2 RBIs in the game, 103 in regular season, 371 batting average in the regular season with bases loaded, so he is prepared. But yeah, you need out here. It doesn't score a run, and then you can hope for the double play. Swings and misses a fastball, 0-2. Do you go even higher, or do you throw your changeup here? Changeup looks like a fastball, and yeah. And yeah, if you go to the changeup here, he did spike it the last time out. He hasn't thrown one since, but it is 2 strikes. You also maybe want to go the high fastball up, and swings and miss at a fastball. He tipped it, but there is one away. So huge out by Madsen, hoping to get out of this jam. Now, a double play will keep this game tied right here. And he gets Martinez out on 3 straight pitches, 3 straight fastballs. And I was all right. It was a bit of a higher fastball, maybe not high enough, but it got the job done. And yeah, that's why there's one away. JD is not like happy right now. That'd be huge if he came in and he got these outs without the Red Sox scoring. I mean, this is kind of the difference in the game right here. And that ball was blocked by Barnes for a ball in the dirt, and it's 1-0 count to Bogaerts. It's a good breaking ball, but yeah. And one of the reasons why the announcers just said why Bogaerts has so many RBIs is the Red Sox are always on base. Yeah, which makes sense. Whew. That fastball just missed the outside corner, 2-0. So it's almost like you have to throw a fastball now to Bogaerts, and he should get a good pitch to hit. So let's see if Bogaerts is going to swing here or what pitch he's going to get. You still want to throw something in the corner, but. And that ball hits a short, throws to second, on to first. And he's safe. And the Red Sox take the lead 4-3. Bogaerts runs too well, and Dozier's throw wasn't good in the dirt. Let's see if they challenge it, because they seem like a bit of a hard slide. Well, not a hard slide, but I tried to do the best throw. Or turn by Dozier wasn't as clean. It was close. Actually, wasn't a ball in the dirt. It was a low throw. And Madsen can't believe it. He thought he had a double play. There is no challenge, so the Red Sox officially take a 4-3 lead. And there's yet another lead change, so good for them as Bogaerts gets an RBI. And I'll give you Kershaw's line in a second. And this is the time for the Red Sox to extend their lead, keep adding on. As they have runners in the corners with 2 outs, and the youngster, the 21-year-old Rafael Devers, is up at the plate. That ball was blocked by Burns, and that would have scored a run if that got past him. So good job by him. Took him to the left side, and he kind of like shuffled his gloves to the right, and he saved a run right there. Wow. The runner can go to second, so great job. So 1-0 count to Devers, who's looking to add some insurance runs to this very slim Red Sox lead. I'll give you guys Kershaw's line. 4 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 Ks. So, yeah, not a great outing from Kershaw. So, like I said, he has a good outing every time he plays. It's not awful, but it's definitely not great. It's not very consistent. So, yeah, he did not have it tonight, and they were very, very close to getting out that jam. But it all started with the walk to Pierce. He didn't walk him, then he could have walked JD and had a double play chance there. But yeah, Bogaerts did a good job by just putting the ball on the ground, as he's pretty fast. And Kershaw just looks really unhappy right now. It's interesting because after Game 7, Kershaw pitched on 2 games rest to close out the game. And that's a ground ball into the right field. And that will add an insurance run. Then Tenney scores, and Steve Pierce goes to second. Sorry. My bad. Bogaerts goes to second. That makes sense because he just got the hit. So Red Sox now 5-3. And it's first and second, 2 outs, as Madsen's just not doing well. The 21-year-old comes through just over the outstretched grab by Dozier, who face plants in the grass with nothing to show for. Oh, yeah, that's right. All 5 runs. Sorry, Kershaw's line is not over. Forgot he left 2 on. It wasn't like Sailor, he just left 1. That's annoying. I have to take that out. So 4 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 Ks. So awful outing by Kershaw. And yeah, he just did not have it tonight. And that ball's in the right. But Puig makes the grab after a late break. So the Red Sox are retired, but not before Bogaerts' RBI forced out to take back the lead, and Devers' RBI single to right. And they strand 2, but the Red Sox are up 5-3 as we get to the top of the 6th inning. Joe Kelly in tonight, now pitching for the Red Sox. And misses a 90-mile-per-hour fastball in 1-0 to Kike Hernandez, who had 21 homers in the regular season. And tonight, Camp, I don't know why I thought it was Kike, has a solo shot and grounds to the pitcher. And that's down a right field run and just foul. That would have been a single for him, not a double, as it it's kind of just bounced. There's like a railing there, like an indent by first base. It's kind of in between first base and right field. So, yeah, it would have just been a single. Well, earlier in the game, I mentioned how good the Red Sox outfield was, which is very true, as Benintendi led all the majors with 12 assists. Bradley had 9 assists to the zone, and Betts had 5. Assists do not really show a true measurement of an outfield because, for example, Betts is the best arm. He's the best defender out of all of them, probably. He is. And that ball, he takes a good cut, but it's fouled off 1-2. So as I was saying, Betts was the best outfielder out of the trio of Benintendi, Bradley, and Betts, the 3 Bs, as they call them. He has not too many assists because they just know not to run on him. And, yeah, I mean, sure, like, he also plays right field. It's not like Bradley also plays center, so, yeah, it kind of helps a bit. That ball is a changeup away. It's now 2-2. Didn't realize Kelly had a changeup. I thought he just threw fastball slider, but that's not the case. His fastball can reach 100, and it has reached 99 tonight. Here's the pitch. Swings and misses a changeup. Oh, sorry. He fouled that one off. My bad. But it was foul tipped or something for a second. Up in the bullpen for the Dodgers is Julio Urias, who that's an interesting choice. Well, they have 2 lefties, Leon and Bradley, so that makes sense. He swings and misses, and there's a first out of the inning. What was I going to say? Logically, he owns a switch hitter, so he's not just a lefty, but it's always good to change him to the other side of the plate, or put him on a lesser dominant side, which is in this case a righty, so why not? It'd be interesting to see if he pitches you to Dozier or not. So, I mean, Betts, who is very dominant, and of course can hit lefties as well. There's a strike on 1 count to Kike Hernandez. That ball's pop foul out of play.